Hello students, in this session we'll discuss one of the spectroscopic methods of determination of structure of atoms and molecules, that is photoelectron spectroscopy. We will discuss this in two parts. The first part we will discuss the basic principle of photoelectron spectroscopy and then the instrumentation used. Photoelectron spectroscopy is based on photoelectric effect. What is photoelectric effect? When light falls on the surface of a material, electrons are ejected from its surface. This phenomenon is called as a photoelectric effect. And PES is based on this effect, and the data obtained from this photoelectron spectroscopy is used mainly in the determination of electronic configuration of atoms and molecules, and also atomic and molecular structure. The basic principle, as I told, it is based on photoelectric effect. So when an electron present in a material absorbs the photons of light, it gains energy, and if the energy supplied by the photon is greater than the binding energy of the electron, then it gets ejected from the surface of the material. And if the energy of the photon is greater than binding energy, the extra amount of energy appears as the kinetic energy of the electron. And this effect, as you already know, is called as a photoelectric effect. So therefore, total energy of photon will be equal to binding energy of the electron and kinetic energy of the electron. And from this equation, it is possible to calculate binding energy of the electron, and energy of photon is given by h nu, where nu is the frequency of the photon. There are two light sources used, that is UV light or X-ray light, to eject the electrons. UV light is of lower energy, hence it can eject only valence electrons, because valence electrons are bound to the nucleus with lesser force, so its ejection is easier. You require lower energy. And the X-ray source is a high energy radiation, and it is capable of ejecting inner electrons or core electrons. That is because core electrons are tightly bound to the nucleus and they require higher amount of energy. And after this ejection of electrons, the detector in the spectrometer will separate these electrons according to their binding energy or kinetic energy, and the count of electrons with a particular binding energy or kinetic energy is taken, and this is called as a photoelectron count. And a plot of binding energy against photoelectron count gives the photoelectron spectrum. Instrumentation. A photoelectron spectrometer requires first a source of energy radiation. As I told, there are two types of source. One is UV source. Usually helium discharge tube is used as a UV source, or X-ray source. And X-ray source is magnesium and aluminum potassium alloy, which emits alpha radiation. The second part is electron energy analyzer, which will disperse the electrons according to their kinetic energy or binding energy and take their count. Okay. And again, an ultra high vacuum is required for carrying out the process. That is because if gas molecules are present, they will collide with the electrons and the kinetic energy of electrons will change. You can see the schematic diagram of the instrumentation. So this is the ultra high vacuum chamber, which is made by using a vacuum pump, and sample is taken inside this ultra high vacuum chamber, and it is exposed to X-ray or UV ray light from the suitable source, and the electron ejected are sent to the electron energy analyzer, where it is separated according to the binding energy and the count is taken. As I told, there are two types of photoelectron spectroscopy, that is ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy and X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy. When UV light is used to eject the electrons, only valence electrons are ejected, and because the UV light has got lower energy. And UPS or ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy gives P photoelectron spectrum of only valence shell electrons. And when you use X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy, since X-rays have got higher energy, core electrons are ejected. Therefore, you get here photoelectron spectrum of core electrons. And there are mainly two factors which affect binding energy of electrons. One, actually it depends upon the chemical forces. First is oxidation state of the atom. As the oxidation state of the atom increases, the electrons are bound with more force, and therefore the electrons attached will have higher binding energy and they will require higher energy to get ejected. That's one factor. Second factor is local chemical environment. So the peak will depend upon the substituent atom present. The binding energy of the electron is found to increase with the increase in the electronegativity of the substituent groups. As the electronegativity of the attached group increases, the binding energy also is found to increase. So this is the end of first session. Thank you.